It is a beautiful day looking at the Battle of the Chip here in just a moment, but look at that battle of bikes going on at the Buffalo Chip just down below us here in Sturgis, South Dakota. Welcome everybody on site. We'll be around the world at TorqueSeries.com here in just a moment. But Scott Rain to my right, I'm Robbie Floyd, and look at the fans that have attended here in Sturgis, South Dakota. They came here for a bike rally. They're going to see an amazing Torque Series event, Torque, the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL.
Yeah, it was. We looked forward to this last year, not knowing what to expect, and we came to the facility, saw the track, and went, okay, we think we got something here.
Yeah.
And the bikers, the fans, you guys really taught us a lot last year. We didn't realize that you wanted to bring your bikes up and basically make it your little portable living room right there up against the fence. And the second day went, okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, it's comfier than
and then all of a sudden,
bleachers.
They didn't applaud. Then all of a sudden they fired up their bikes and started revving like crazy. And we're like, this is kind of cool. This is something different we're doing anywhere else in the country.
Yeah,
so
I'd rather hear RPMs than claps any day. Yeah, forget those golf clappers at the other events. But, you know, it is a cool thing. And they really came out. I just went down and got my points or updated points coming into this round. And there were a lot more people here today than there were tomorrow. And I'm sure word of mouth. Let everybody know this is not just a one-day event. It's a two-day event.
And not only that, but it's like there's so much going on all day long. And we had practice and qualifying earlier today. They could have come out here and checked out. But also, don't leave right after the race is done. Stick around. This is where the guys, now that they've been working on these trucks, prepping them, working on them after practice, after qualifying, constantly tweaking them. This is their first chance to finally take a breath and go, hey, you know what, let's hang out with the fans and kind of get to know them a little bit as they get to know us as well. Also, their pictures and autographs. A lot of them have product samples of some of their sponsors. Stick around and you know what? Maybe, you know, you find yourself helping them scraping mud on one of the race trucks, and tomorrow you'll be a crew member. Crazier things have happened.
Yep, it has happened. And also, to remind everyone, is it looks like, well, our monitor's a little different. It also looks like the weather's going to be perfect for the fans, too. It's not hot. We've been in some baking events this year so far. Had to deal with some rain. Right now, it's clear skies, partly cloudy. It's just going to be cooler for the fans. Also holds a little moisture in the track. Other than the wind, that's going to dry out the track. And you have to adjust to the track conditions. The thing is here, we haven't been here for a year, but in certain parts of this course, it's going to be dry. Other parts of this course, it's going to be a little bit deeper, and you have to set up your truck for one or the other or split it down the middle and maybe losing a little bit either way.
Yeah, other forms of motorsports, the teams have what we call notebooks. They take notes on what works, what doesn't work on that given race weekend. They've got the guys here this weekend have one notebook, one weekend to work with. And, again, half of that's got to be thrown out because it's so much different than it was last year because it was, like I said, virgin dirt, never been raced on before, black dirt. Farmers would kill to have this in the Midwest or out west as well. But, you know, it's a really cool facility. We're excited to be here. And, you know what, I can't wait to see what these guys are able to pull off up here on this track.
We're about to get underway here in just a moment. Welcome to Sturgis, everybody from around the country. Again, we'll be online in just a few moments at TorqueSeries.com. Tell your friends, maybe they'll see you on there. We're going to step aside for a second, and we'll come back. It'll be Torque, the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL.
America, it's time to rally. We want you and a friend to join us for the AMSOIL America Adventure this October. The week-long rally starts in Deadwood, South Dakota and wraps up as VIP guests at the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas. The trip is more than just a car ride. Each day, the goal is to beat your competition in unique challenges and missions to earn points towards the game's grand prize to be awarded in Vegas. Register at AMSOILRacing.com for your chance to win an all-expenses-paid entry for two into the AMSOIL America Adventure.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up. And nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N Performance air intake system. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed. Pushing you even closer to that blurry line between kick-ass and whiplash.
Welcome back, everyone. We're about to get ready to race here in just a moment. But I'd like to thank all the people that helped make Torque the Off-Road Championship possible. All of our sponsors, not only here at Sturgis, but around the country. Torque the Off-Road Championship is brought to you by AMSOIL, the pulse of performance, and by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera, and by Aturo Tires, performance within reach, and by Pep Boys. Trust the boys to get you there. We trusted the boys to get us here, and we are in Sturgis, and thousands of fans, hundreds of thousands of fans are over there, and we just need 10,000 or so to come over here and show you what a good time is at short course off-road racing. You may have seen it on TV. You can watch it on Fox Sports, whether it be Fox Sports 2 or Fox Sports 1. We've had one airing. We had the Texas race, and coming up here very shortly will be our second stop in St. Louis and St. Louis 3, and then we move on down. We've been to Charlotte. We've been to Crandon, Wisconsin, the birthplace pretty much. What would it be, the Wrigley Field or the Fenway Park of
you
short
name
course
it.
off-road?
It's
All
one of the
above?
most historic locations of off-road racing. I'd have to say in the continental United States. It's our version. What's kind of like what we like about this sport, it's like NASCAR in the sense that we have our Talladega tracks, the super speedways. We also have the Bristol tracks, which are really tight in the infields of the half-mile ovals. So very diverse tracks.
All right, I'd like to ask a favor of all of our fans out there, if you would, no matter if you're on a bike or not, if you would please stand up, take off your hats, pay tribute to our soldiers here in the U.S. and around the world with the playing of our national anthem. There it is, our rendition of the national anthem. Robbie Floyd and Scott Rain here with you in Sturgis, South Dakota. Not quite sure how many laps they're going to be running. I'm sure they adjust to each and individual track, and we'll get that word here in just a moment. But one thing that's kind of different in this racing than other types of racing is we have a liquid wrench competition caution, or liquid wrench yellow, sometime during the race at that halfway point. They re-rack them, restack them, and get ready for the back half of the race.
And one thing you got to watch on the track when that happens, there's two Sylvania light poles that are on the racetrack, and they're blaze orange. And when the lead driver on that competition yellow hits that first light, he can accelerate any time within that zone.
You're talking about the starts?
At the start,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
on the competition start. Well, also on the initial, on the innie start, actually. So when they hit that first light pole, he can accelerate any time, all the way up to the second. And then the flagman will not throw the flag until that first truck accelerates, and when he does, then he throws the green flag.
And
so
they have to go nose to tail, too. They cannot
on the restart
until that jump.
yeah, they'll start side by side, on the initial start, but on the restart of the competition yellow, in case there's a full course yellow, they'll be single file line.
So they cannot make that pass on that restart.
Face Desney's right there in our flag tower. That's the highest elevation, I think, on the entire series that he's up in the air. From what I understand, he's not a big fan of heights, but
that's why he's got the death grip on the steel up there as well. See if he's tethered. Well, you see that's my favorite flag. Well, actually, the second favorite flag. The favorite flag is the checkered one. That means the race is over. But the green means all is good. Of course, yellow means there's a caution. You can have a local caution or you can have a full course caution as the drivers are now hitting the track. Our largest race of the day, 11 drivers getting ready to hit the track. Again, our starting grid for the pro lights coming up now.
Starting on the pole in the front row out of Ogden, Iowa. This is probably one of the closest racetracks he has to home. He comes from Ogden, Iowa, number 21, the Liquid Wrench Max and Hostile Wheels, Kicker Audio, Radar Tires, 21 of Cam Ramers.
41 next to him out of Louisiana, driving on those Maxxis tires. Walker Evans Racing, Maxxis and AMSOIL sponsored Dodge. That is Kyle Hart.
And starting inside second row from Wilson, Michigan, that's up there in the UP, the Upper Peninsula. Driver number 42, Ponzi, a logger's best friend, Roto Chopper, the 42 of Kyle Kleiman.
Look out for the 81. He's won more than anybody this year in Pro Lights. 5 main event victories so far on that JRT COD Racing Excel Off-Road Cooper Tire Ford. That's 81 of Doug Matak.
And starting alongside of him out of Trabuco Canyon, California, he drives number 14, Red Bull Multicam RPM Off-Road Entry. He is the son of Luke and Stephanie Johnson, number
Ricky.
14. What'd I say?
Luke.
Oh, yeah. Ricky Johnson. I'm sorry, I'm going to hear about that. That's the 14 of Luke Johnson.
No, not if we're not on the web yet. They won't hear it at all. Also, the 55. You might have saw him actually on his lid just a minute ago. He's trying to keep it on all 4 wheels. You saw it in that video on the video board a minute ago on that Maxxis tire Toyota out of Montana. Is the local boy, Jake Lunderby.
Right alongside him. This guy comes from all the way from Paris, Ontario, Canada.
Hey.
Driving the Sleeco Plastics, Aturo Tires, Yukon Gear Automotive, Thermotech, VP Fuels, and number 43. Very, very strong runner. Keep your eye on the 43 of Travis Dinsmore.
Going to see a couple of Klymans out here this weekend on the Ponzi. A logger's best friend, Roto Chopper 48, Cody Kleiman out of Wilson, Michigan.
Our next driver comes from Big Lake, Minnesota, and if you've been up to Fargo for the snowcross races, you'll recognize this name. Without a doubt, one of the best snowcross riders in the world. Running for AMSOIL, Sportech, Best Western, Fox, FXR Outdoors, the 151 from Big Lake, Minnesota, Andrew Carlson.
You can't count out the 27 of Sean Morris. He's been there. He's done it. He's won before, ready to do it here in Sturgis. He's out of Loveland, Colorado, driving for Pack Racing Springs, AMSOIL, and of course, he's on those Kenda tires. That's Sean Morris, the Leprechaun.
Exactly, and here's our final entry in the 11th spot. He is due for something good. Driving for the bodybuilding.com, Witches for Warriors, and Raging Bull Motorsports on Falcon Tires. Out of Denair, California, number 9 of Bobby Runyon Jr.
Not to be confused with Robbie Bunyan. That is Bobby Runyon going to try and bring up that rear and work his way through the front. It's not who's in front at first. It's who's in front at the end when the checker flag comes out. And he's trying to make the most of his race here. Again, we'll get to you the laps here in just a minute. Competition caution will come out the halfway point.
They'll come around this final corner. They'll take the green in just a couple hundred feet. We've got them going. Face says he's got green flag in hand. Kyle Hart, Cam Ramers, green flag is out. Here we go. Reimers with the early jump going into turn 1, and look at the dust.
12-lap race, and it's already dusty, and we haven't even completed 1 turn yet. That's okay. That's something you have to deal with it. It's a factor of the track right now. It looks like Kyle Hart better on that inside turn because there's a right coming up there. Oh, look at the dive bomb on the inside. A great move by the Ponzi truck.
Climbing, there were 3 wide just for a moment. All of a sudden, Cam Reimers finds himself back in 3rd spot. Climbing now into 2nd. Kyle Hart's going to be very, very hard to pass.
And that's Kyle Kleiman. Dude, I'm telling you, Kleiman, I haven't seen him race like this before. The way that he dove on that inside of Cam Reimers, he means business. Look at him. He's doing it right here, too. Kyle Kleiman on the inside in 2nd. He wants it.
That little elevation change really slows these trucks down going up the hill. But look at the distance you're getting coming down.
This is where it gets ugly right here. Watch. One of these guys, I promise you, will probably be on 2 wheels on that left-hand turn. It could be somewhere through the pack because that is the most upset this truck will be on the entire race course. Down the front straight.
Probably the scariest corner in the entire track. And there we have completing lap number 1. Kyle Hart up front. And how about this? Look at Zach Kleiman running in 2nd.
Yep, Kleiman, I think it looks like Luke Johnson may be trying to sneak in inside of Cam Reimers in 3rd. There's 1 and 2 as they're coming out. Oh, a little wide line by Kyle Hart there. He almost went off the track.
I'm
Look
still
at that
wondering
drop-off. That's awesome.
where is Doug Matag? There he is.
No, that was
Matag's up
Matag.
into third.
That was Matag instead of Luke Johnson and worked into third. And Matag started in fourth, so he's about where we thought he'd be, but he'll be aggressive. He's already won 5 races this year. And did you see the trucks working their way downhill, sliding side to side? It's getting slippery already.
Yeah, and they're definitely playing the wind right now with that dusty conditions. They're going to the left side of the wind if it's playing it to the right. So they're actually having issues with that dust right now.
They'd rather have the dust than rocks being shot at them, I promise you there. Kyle Hart drops down.
Look at the speed coming down the hill, that left-hand turn.
Whoa,
Kyle Hart hanging on.
Yeah, and Kyle Kleiman doing a darn good job. He's actually a little quicker in that section than Kyle Hart was. He closed in there. Now we'll see how they do coming down the front straight. Matag watching in third. Looks like fourth place is, it looks like Reimers in fourth. Fifth place, the 48. The other Ponzi truck, I believe he's gotten by both Lunderby as well as Luke Johnson. That would be Cody Kleiman. So maybe they're set up. Maybe the Kleiman team has got a good setup right now because both those guys look to be charging.
Their dad's a very, very strong runner, very, very smart racer. He's now retired and basically supporting his kids, but there's a lot of smarts behind those two guys, and their dad is supporting that.
And if Cody started in 8th and he's worked inside that top 5, I mean, that competition caution will really pack him up. If he gets one more spot, he could be in this thing still with a chance for the victory. There's 1, 2, and 3 as they pull down that straightaway. There's a straightaway going up the hill. And now back down. Matag starting to close in. That's the best lap he's turned, I believe. We don't have our timing and scoring, but you can see he's a little bit tighter to Kleiman now as Kyle's in second place behind Kyle Hart.
I really think that, I mean, our third place driver, Matag, is not known for being patient. He just knows one speed, on, off.
Pinned.
Yeah, and to see him running consistently in third, doesn't look like he's trying to make a run at it.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they've kind of calmed him down a little bit, and you know what? Hang out for that competition yellow, because he's got great restart.
I don't want to disagree with you, but I think Kyle Kleiman's that fast right now. I have not seen him race this fast, whether he did it last year or the few times we've seen him this year. I think Kyle Kleiman is running that fast. He looks like in certain places he's faster than Kyle Hart, and we know how he started the year.
Yeah, and they're actually bunching right back up. Here comes, you talked about it, Kleiman. Now going after Hart.
I'm telling you, dude, he is, I think he's the quickest truck on the track right now. What can he do if he gets clear track? Now, here's where he likes going to the inside of these turns. Look at him go to the inside.
Oh, talk about a dive, there it is.
Matag pays attention, though. He learns from that.
Yeah, he's taking mental notes without a doubt. And the thing is he's going to try and, like, maybe the top 2 make contact somewhere, have issues. The door opens, and all of a sudden Matag goes from third to first in a heartbeat.
What do you do if you know that Kleiman always goes to the inside? You try and drive around and hope he makes a mistake. He squares it up trying to go inside the inside guy.
Just for a moment, 3 wide to that final corner.
Look at Matag.
Here comes Matag. He might make the pass to the outside. They're side by side.
Watch how sketchy it is into this right-hand turn. Watch this. Here it goes. Kleiman holds on, but he's going to push wide. Matag's going to go inside of him and get a better drive. Nope, he follows in his tracks.
And that helps out Kyle Hart as he pulls away a little bit, maybe 2 truck lengths, but Kleiman right back on. Can you believe this? Now, keep in mind, where Kleimans are from is a town of about 300 people. And I think all 300 are probably watching us right now on the World Wide Web.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Both of you watching. 300.
But Kyle Hart, man, he looked real strong in Dallas.
As we see him go down that downhill off camera, look, he's squaring it up, but it's in the slippery section. Now watch here. Look at Matag. He's close. His dive bomb. He might get both of them. He might get both of them.
All 3 made contact. Hart hangs on. Doug Matag up into second.
Hart knew he was too wide. You know it? He shut it down, and there was 2 people inside of him.
And that was all. I'm sure he's got his dad spotting for him right now, who's going to be running in Pro 2 in just a few minutes.
Yeah, he's saying, you're too wide, Clyde, and he goes to the inside, but puts on the brakes so much, Matag literally tags him, and we've said that before. Matag's fast. Kleiman, I hope he doesn't have a problem now because he looked quick. Yeah, he's still charging back there.
Yeah, and Matag's going to take chances, and here comes Kleiman. He's not afraid to rub a little fenders right now.
You can't follow the leader. Look at this. Look at Matag way outside where nobody has been, but that can maybe set him up a little farther inside. Oh, man, that is just a rough track. Deal with the track that is in front of you, and that's exactly what they're doing.
You know,
Matag's trying a lot of different places.
One of the phrases they often use is you don't groom the Baja 1000, and that's kind of what you race what's given you. And what's amazing, as much as these three have battled, they have pulled away from the rest of the field. Right now, we've got Cam Reimers, I believe, running in that 4th spot a little bit further back, but here comes Matag now to the inside once again.
It's the same spot, but you see how much more guarded Kyle Hart was that time. That made the difference. Matag gets a good drive. He's inside. Can he hold it there? Now Hart shut it down.
Did you see Hart actually turn to the right a little bit on that jump?
Now, if I'm Matag, I just go ahead and say, fine, I'll go outside. Oh, man, was that coming to get the competition caution? I think it was. Smart move.
Yeah, there's the pace truck.
Smart move.
The AMSOIL pace truck's out of the track. Richie Kulop behind the wheel. Yep.
6 down, 6 more to go. Woo-hoo, that's a good race as the guy's still crossing and passing along there.
There we have it.
And you know what? This really, who was it? We have Kyle climbing there. Cody, now I believe, if we see a shot again, Cody, I believe, is in 4th place, or is that Reimers?
That's actually Reimers. No, that's Reimers. They're running in the 4th spot. We've got Luke Johnson 5th, and there's Cody right there in the 6th spot.
Okay, so he was up.
Thank God Dad got smart, and he like, okay, let's not make both trucks yellow. Let's make one opposite of the other, so we'll be able to tell the difference.
True.
So, Mark, I want to thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and there is the 48 of Kleiman. He's moved up just a bit. Travis Dinsmore, a name that we really haven't said much today, just behind him. Or in the 43.
There's the 48 of Cody, also from Northern Michigan.
Yeah, so he's worked his way up just a little bit, and that's the beauty or the good and the bad. If you're the guy out in front, you don't want this to happen. If you're a guy anywhere other than the front, you do want this to happen because you're going to start nose to tail, single file line. You see Kyle Hart, Doug Matag, Kyle Kleiman, Cam Reimers in 4th. And Dinsmore's pulling over.
One of our top trucks. I believe he's, 2nd in points, I think, for the season? Pulling off the. Oh, no, 4th. He's still in 9. I'm sorry.
He's in 5th.
It looked like he was pulling off the track.
That's their cutoff. That's their cutoff. Dinsmore 5th in points right now. With that victory back in Crandon, about 3 races ago? We had 2 event days in Charlotte. More of a real tight track.
So the fans here have seen this before. The competition is instituted to, for a couple of things, to prevent a runaway and kind of bring more entertainment to the fans. And also, what was cool about it is unintentionally, it just happened that way, that it all of a sudden added strategy to the races for the race team, setting these trucks up not just for a race, but for a first half or a second half. So it's really worked out. We instituted it about 8 years ago, and it's really been successful.
I want to point out, I haven't seen him much in this race, but Luke Johnson in the 14. He's in 5th right now, 2nd in points, and he knows Matag is up there in 2nd. He's got to make hay while the sun shines, as now Kyle Hart is trying to gap the field, trying to separate himself from Matag. Matag trying to set up on that inside. Look at Kleiman going to the inside for the pass.
Kleiman really, and the thing is, he's running clean. He has yet to even touch Doug Matag in the last 3-4 laps or so, but he's right there with all within 1 truck lane.
Hard landing on that downhill.
Oh, here he is, Kleiman! Now inside of Matag. Matag goes wide. The door was open. Kleiman took it.
Did you see how hard Matag did downhill? That cost him because it shot him almost off the track, and Kleiman just basically drove underneath it.
And I can guarantee this, Matag's going to come right back. Now, Doug is also going to be running in a Pro 2 in a couple of minutes, so he's going to probably have the most advantage of all the drivers out there in the next race.
Look at that. Matag's going to go around both of them if he doesn't watch out.
There was contact made with Kyle Hart and Kleiman, and they both stalled a little bit, and that gave Matag the opportunity to move into 2nd. Kleiman coming right back, and right behind him in the 4th spot, there's Cam Reimers.
There goes Kleiman.
Oh, Kleiman!
Dive
goes
bomb,
in hard.
spins him around, and Hart goes around. Kleiman's going to be in 2nd. Matag now.
That's going to be a hard call. Was Kyle Hart protecting the line too much?
He was in
going
the air.
In the corner.
You can't put the brakes on when you're in the air, so I don't know what Kleiman's going to do other than he shouldn't have jumped that far. Good race now. Kyle Kleiman has literally banged his way into the lead. Matag in 2nd, and look at Cam Reimers. He's finally getting that race he's been waiting for all year long. He's been up front but couldn't stay there. Now he's in 3rd.
Always been a little mechanical gremlin that has popped in there. Again, we got Kyle Hart back in that 4th spot. He by no means is out of it right now.
Neither Luke Johnson back in 5th. There's Matag trying to get underneath.
He's going to take chances. He's going to take every chance he can, inside, outside, ride the berm, maybe cut the corner just a little bit, lean on that fender, lean on that tire. He's going to take chances.
24-point lead, you could do that. You have 5 victories on the season. Jumping down this downhill, it is very...
That is so scary right there.
Yeah, it is big-time downhill with a knowing that there's an off-camber turn down at the bottom.
Oh, big push going into the corner by our leader.
Might get the drive, though.
He was up against that berm, and who got the drive was Matag. He's now set up for the outside. Watch for the outside.
Whoa, crooked.
Oh, man.
That's got to upset it. And I don't think he can shut it down or he's going to get spun. He does.
Wow.
He stays on it.
How is Kleiman hanging on? Man, oh, man, there was no way I thought Matag was going to lift going into turn number 1, but he did, thought better of it.
And there's
they're
that
flat
hard,
landing.
That's
wow.
that hard jump. That's what cost Matag the time before because he landed so much on that left front. He was a little flatter when he landed when I'm talking about Kyle Kleiman.
Yeah, what's happening this year at this track that didn't happen last year is it's getting hard. There's blue grooves out there. It's not, the dirt's not giving, it's not pushing away.
How many
How
many guys are changing tires back in the back right now?
Oh,
Go
man.
for more tire instead of less groove.
Yeah, they're putting on almost
A street tire. Slick.
drag slicks almost, maybe with just a little bit of a groove.
Yeah. Cam Reimer's still back in third. You see that liquid wrench yellow truck.
Can you imagine Wilson, Michigan right now just going crazy? Just a few laps remaining. And this will be the first win for either one of the Kleiman boys if he can hang on.
We talk about tire wars. I don't have a tire sponsor for Kleiman, so I don't even know what he's running. But you know there's pride in that DOT type tire. Oh, look at that. That thing was bucking like a Bronco coming down that front straight.
That's what the shorter wheelbase does. And there's smoke coming out of one of our trucks further back in the field. But right now, up front, Kleiman, man, just looking so strong. Now, you'd think the left front of that tire would just explode and land it like that.
It may if he keeps doing it. If he keeps doing it that hard.
No, these are the same tires you can buy off the shelf. That's what's amazing. All the different manufacturers on all the different trucks. You can buy these things off the shelf and just look at the abuse. Not only that the tread is taking, but also the sidewalls.
I'm seeing Kleiman making a few mistakes, trying to be a little more guarded, and sometimes that'll get him in a push. When you're on the throttle, just hammering down the whole time, it'll help bring the truck around. When you guard yourself a little bit, it'll make the truck want to push more to that outside because you're not on the throttle, swinging it around.
Well, there we get it.
Look like a
little
sprint
bit
car.
up on both of them were up on two wheels.
That's going to happen on that off-camber.
This is the corner where all the fun stuff was happening. The thing is, I've been watching for a black flag, haven't heard or seen one yet, so it looks like, you know what, it was racing.
It happened. I mean, you guarded that inside that much, and I don't know if the truck in front of you knows you're going to do that. How do you put on the brakes when you're in the air?
Still no white flag either, and Kleiman's going, okay, I thought this was a 12-lap race. It seems like it's a 20 right now.
Give them the cross flags that have a halfway through.
I'll bet you there's now one person in Wilson, Michigan sitting at their computer right now. They're all standing up in the back of the room, pacing back and forth.
Upset the truck just a little bit of Kleiman on that downhill. The good race back there for 4th and 5th between Hart and Johnson, but this race up in front has been literally only a truck separated the two the entire time. Slide job.
Yeah, that door keeps getting open. Kleiman keeps letting it have it, but once again,
as Ricky Johnson tells me on the TV, if you're on that cushion, you know you're getting that drive. You can go inside, but you're not going to hook up to nothing.
Yeah, your wheel, just huge wheel spin. And the thing is, I looked at the tires on Doug Matag's truck right before the race.
How was it cut?
And no big deal. You'd think that at the time it was really wet around here. The track was real wet, and you'd think there'd be big lugs that just cut out of this thing.
No, they knew something.
No,
they were smarter than us. They were smarter than us.
Still waiting for that white flag.
And
is that
something's waving.
Yeah.
You look. I'm going to go. I'm going to get up and look.
Climbing up on two wheels, saves it, but he loses it big time. Here goes Matag to the outside, headed up the hill into turn number 2.
Oh, this could get ugly. This could get ugly right here.
Matag is going to take chances.
Bam.
He's going to force the issue.
You can't go that wide. And now he's going to be set up. He knows it.
He's going to watch. He's going to brake real hard going into the corner now, duck to the inside.
And that's when you double brake him. That's when the brake check comes in. You might have heard that before. Look at the drive.
Kleiman's on the outside, right where you want the traction.
And now another right's going to be the next turn. What will Matag do?
Hard on the brakes, hard, make it past on the outside. Matag, try to the inside.
Hey, remember when you rev the throttle, if you like something that you're seeing, I want to hear these bikes rev it up as they come down that front straightaway. This is pretty darn cool. Look at the race. Kyle Kleiman out in front. Doug Matag in second. 1 turn to go.
Fire up those Harleys. There's making contact in the final corner. It's going to be a drag race. Kleiman slides out. Here comes a young man from Wilson, Michigan. The entire town is on its feet.
Kyle Kleiman takes the victory. Second place, Doug Matag.
Third, I believe, was Cam Reimers.
Should be Kyle Hart in 4th, Luke Johnson in 5th.
Wow. And the thing is, that was some clean racing. At any point, Doug Matag could have taken out our leader or pushed him to the outside, but he didn't. Ran it clean and finished in second.
Cody and Kyle shared a truck last year. The best finish they had was a 6th. This year, already a victory from Team Climbing. We're going to step aside for a bit, and we'll hear from our winners in Pro Lights here at Torque, the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
Acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up. And nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N Performance air intake system. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed. Pushing you even closer to that blurry line between kick-ass and whiplash.
When I'm out there racing, God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust. There's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
All you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
Well, the Sturgis faithful, they got an eye full, 2 eyes full, a hand full, a seat full.
That was great. That was one of the best ones we've seen all season. And the thing is, what usually had happened in the past was Matag making the pass and Hoover he was battling with. This time, Kleinman was able to hold him off. Matag couldn't do nothing with him.
I said that in the second turn of the race that Kyle Kleinman looked faster than I've ever seen him before, and it was the fastest he's ever driven before. Welcome back to Torque the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL. He's Scott Rain. I'm Robbie Floyd. I talked about that 6th and 7th being his best last year.
Yeah.
I knew right off the bat there was something special with the way he was driving, the way he was aggressive, and that truck seemed to be working for him.
Well, like I said before, his dad's very, very smart. He keeps a lot of notes, and the thing is, they didn't like pop onto the scene. They've been inching away a little bit, cutting away at it, and getting a little bit faster. And today, like you said, he shot to the front.
Yeah, and he looked strong. He held off the points leader, who's actually going to have even more of a points advantage over Luke Johnson now, who finishes behind Kyle Hartbleed, finishes in 5th spot. But it has to be a special day, too, for him. It's his first win. I don't have the empirical data in from him, but it's his first win in Torque the Off-Road Championship. So that's got to, that moment, and I'm sure Tiffany Stone, Miss Torque's going to talk to him. It's got to feel really good for the whole family, the whole town, as you mentioned.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, if you don't get a tear in that kid's eyes, or even his dad. And his dad is a multi-time winner in the Sportsman Series years ago. Always was very smart, had really good-looking equipment, very good equipment, good driver, and the fact that he's able to pass that legacy, so to speak, to his 2 sons. And now with the win, I wish we were down there to see what was going on.
And we'll see it here in just a moment. We'll see the track interviews with Tiffany. That's race 1. Race 2, Doug Matag. We'll see him on the podium.
Let's double what we saw.
He gets back in the truck and he gets ready for Pro 2. You have to think that he knows a little something that nobody else will know as we get ready for that Pro 2. He'll be in that truck in just a minute in the Pro 4s to end our day. So, again, I'd like to thank all of the people at Torque the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL.
And again, quality and performance do not have to be expensive. It's breakdowns that cost you real money. Protect your equipment with long-life synthetic oils and fluids from AMSOIL. The pulse of performance. Talk to a dealer today or visit AMSOIL.com. And GoPro, maker of the world's most versatile camera, enabling people to capture compelling, immersive photo and video content, is proud to be the official camera sponsor of the Torque Off-Road Championship. Visit GoPro.com for the latest news and videos. And race fans, Arturo Tires is proud to sponsor another exciting day here at the races, featuring some of the most daring drivers of the Torque Series, like the number 43, Travis Dinsmore, and the 151 of Andrew Carlson, who were just out on the track in Pro Light. For Pro Tires that put performance within reach, visit our booth or go to Arturo.com. And Pep Boys. Did you know Pep Boys is now the largest speed shop chain in the country? They have over 150 locations across the country with more on the way. Brands racers recognize and trust like K&N, Cooper Tire, and more. Go to pepboys.com/speedshop to check out all the speed shop locations nationwide. Proud to be a Torque Series sponsor. Boy, they must have really tore up that track, as we see a lot of water being put down. We got the big, huge front end loader going to work on some of the jumps, it looks like. And oh, look at that crowd. Man, would you like to be right down there in the middle of that?
Dude, I feel like I'm right down there in the middle of that, you know? Brian Lockwood's giving us all those sweet pictures. It's a good time down there.
Yeah, if anybody's got any extra wristbands for anything going on at the Buffalo Chip.
I don't know who's playing tonight, but I sure would like to watch. No, I'm just kidding. You know,
we're located on the other side of the pond.
Yeah, we'll be down there with Team Runyon, and I'm sure they're not going to be happy. They'll be looking forward to tomorrow because today didn't end the way that they wanted it, not inside that top 5.
Yeah, there's something happened to Bobby. I saw smoke coming out of the rear end. I know they had the rear axle on the right rear axle off of it yesterday looking at things, so there's something still not right there.
All right, there's the fans. Just to the right has to be the third member of our team here today, Miss Tiffany Stone, also known as Miss Torque. Hey, Tiffany, how about that new winner on the podium? It's time to talk to him here in a bit.
Welcome. Oh. I know. It's not on. Nope, not on. Not on.
Now you are, Tiffany.
Perfect. Hello, Sturgis. How's everybody doing out there? I know that was a wonderful start to this weekend. That was a great pro light race. But we need to bring out some winners out here, of course. We do have our third place finisher, Cam Reimers, right down here. Cam, we've been talking a lot. You've been tweeting, you've been Facebooking, everything. What did you do to come into this weekend?
Oh man, we've had a rough last couple of weekends. We regrouped back in the shop in Iowa. This is my favorite track on the circuit. The fans here are just like no other. And I was just pumped to come back here. We practiced well, we qualified well. Had a slight mistake right off the bat that kind of let those guys get away, but drove a clean race and came home in third. So.
Perfect. Do you have anything planned for tomorrow? I know it rained a lot last night. If anybody was over at the Buffalo Chip, we all got rained on. The track dried up. Is it good for tomorrow? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll make a couple changes if the track stays as hard as it was here because, you know, the radars were hooking up awesome. I think if a couple changes the truck, we'll be right up there with those guys battling for the front. I mean, it's just awesome after this slump to come back in third and get a podium finish for Liquid Wrench. Hostile wheels that came on this year. Thank you to those guys, Kicker Audio, Max, and Radar Tires again, Team Associated, everyone that helps us out. Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your third place finish. And for our second place podium finisher, Mr. Doug Matag. So earlier, Doug, you and I were talking about this track. It's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past this season. You know, you said it was a little bit more like motocross or supercross?
Yeah, a little bit more like motocross, and I grew up riding motorcycles, so I love this track, and it's a lot more technical than most of them, a lot higher speeds, some big jumps, and some downhills, uphills. I love all the different terrain, and last year I had a lot of bad luck, went a lap down, and then I got fourth, so it's good to be up here on the podium. We had an epic battle, probably the best one this season, and I put a move on climbing, and I was right behind Hart, and then he did the same move to me, so it's all good, and we'll come back tomorrow, make a couple changes, and go for that win.
Anything going into this Pro 2 race that you're about to do? I know the trucks are a little bit different. How'd you set that one up from your Pro Light truck?
Wait, say that again?
Your Pro Light truck is a little bit different than your Pro 2. You're about to go into Pro 2. How did you set your Pro Light up from your Pro 2?
It's a lot different, just all the suspension that it has and the bigger tires and stuff. It's a whole new animal for me, and just getting it around this track's pretty tough because how tight it is, but we are second fastest in practice, so we're looking to go and put that thing on the podium too.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on everything and good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
And of course, our first place winner over here from Michigan, Mr. Kyle Kleiman. How does it feel to take that first place win?
Oh, it's awesome. It's a lot of work to get up here, that's for sure. And it was a long time coming, and I'm just thankful to be up here.
What did you do? I know, like, I've been talking to this track's a little bit dirty. It's a little dusty out there. How did you prepare for this, especially with the other racetracks that we've been at?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I didn't really do anything. I just kind of stayed calm, went out there with just the intention to have fun. We're only running half a season, so I'm glad to be up here.
So pretty much the motto of the day is stay calm and you drive pretty fast.
I guess so.
Well, congratulations on your first place podium win. Round of applause for all the podium finishers here for the Pro Light races. Tell the fans we're going to meet them for a picture here in a minute. Perfect. We will meet here for a picture. All right, picture.
And we were questioning what kind of tires he was using, and the answer,
There they have it.
Kenda right there on top of the deal.
Oh, Kenda, Mike's got to be having a little bit of fun.
All right, so that's what's there. Maybe it was something different. He gave me the secret. Shh, I don't know. All right, so we don't let the cat out of the bag out of there, but I'd like to again thank all of our sponsors here. Welcome back to us watching live in South Dakota in Sturgis for all these fans that came out today, rode their bikes, came by car or truck, whatever, but you got to witness a great pro light race. Now we step it up just a bit, and congratulations, kudos goes to Kyle Kleiman. But now we step it up to the Pro 2, which we'll see Doug Matag hit here in just a bit.
Yeah, you go from about 450 to 500 horsepower, and you're going to go now to about 900, right around a little bit over 900 horsepower. Full-size truck, two-wheel drive, 18 inches of travel in the front, 20 in the rear, and the sound that you're about to hear,
a little more horsepower.
It compares to your Harley. Let's put it that way. It's very strong comparison
Compared
to your
to
Harley.
a scooter to Harley, that kind of difference that we saw.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, and everything you saw a moment ago is going to be amped up at least by 2. It'll be multiplied by 2, yeah.
Twice full. But Torque the Off-Road Championship is brought to you by Gunk, makers of the toughest cleaners and degreasers on the planet, and by Maxxis Tires. We know dirt. And by VP Racing Fuels. Our passion is your performance. And by K&N, celebrating the right foot since 1969. I've been celebrating my right foot since 1970 and keeping my foot in it as much as I can. And
But now you're a dad, so you got to calm down.
Yeah, no, but it's all right. My kids keep their foot in it, too. They raced go-karts for a while, and I keep them off the bikes for now for the most part. I like to do that. It's a little bit safer and don't get broke up as bad, but yeah, it's good. It's glad to be a part of this experience. It is Sturgis. I'd like to thank the Buffalo Chip, B.J. Burtwill, the president of Torque the Off-Road Championship. I don't know what it took to get here, but I'm glad we are here for the second year in a row. And it looks like it's gotten bigger and bigger. I'm hoping even bigger and better things tomorrow.
And the thing is, it's not all about the racing that's going on here for us. It's just being a part of the 75th anniversary. And some of the things that we're seeing are kind of like Ripley's Believe It or Not almost sometimes. I told you about a guy that I saw and met down at the gas station yesterday. Rode a bicycle up here from, I think it was Florida. He had a Briggs & Stratton motor mounted to a regular pedal bicycle.
It's like an American moped.
Kinda. And he would go, had top speed of 45 miles an hour. He would run out of gas and he would pedal to the next gas station. And he did that all the way here from Florida.
Not me. Not this kid from Texas. There's zero chance of that happening out there. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you ride as far as you do, and I know a lot of these bikes have better seats than others. And I come from a motorcycle background, and my dad used to pick me up from preschool on his Sportster. He had a show bike and a sissy bar on the back, Springer front end, and he'd pick me up. He'd just pull up to the preschool at La Petite Academy and just, and that was like, you didn't even have to say Robbie Floyd. As soon as he wrapped that motor, it was time for to get my little tail out there and ride back down the street. So, but I don't know how these fans make it riding as far. And a lot of people say driving. No, it's not driving. You're riding a bike, but I don't know how you do it that far. Even if it was 5 hours away, I would have the worst case of monkey butt that Torque the Off-Road Series has ever seen.
Well, the thing that I'm still amazed by is that you and I went through town, and the thousands upon thousands of bikes that we were able to see, not one was like the other. Everything is different. I mean, you got to find something that matches up another bike somewhere, but I never saw it. I have yet to see it.
I question whether I would be around still, and hopefully I will. Maybe I'll ride up here at the 100th anniversary. I'll be 70 years old, and we'll see how that goes here in 25 years.
We'll tackle the toughest cleanups in your garage with a new Gunk all-purpose cleaner and degreaser. The heavy-duty concentrated formula breaks through and removes dirt, oil, and grease safely from almost any surface, including aluminum and plastic. Find Gunk all-purpose cleaner and degreaser at Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone. And VP Fuels introduces Cetanium Cetane Improver for diesel engines. Cetanium increases cetane up to 10 full numbers, the highest improvement on the market, and makes more horsepower. Cetanium is for off-road use only, so for more information, visit vpracingfuels.com. And Maxxis Tires, they are trusted by torque champions because their products take drivers to the podium year after year. Be sure to visit the new Maxxis.com, MaxxisRacing.com, and stop by the Maxxis support truck to learn more about Maxxis tire products, including the ultra-high performance passenger, trailer, light truck, and SUV tires. And Boost, we all know that feeling. The urge, the sensation of wanting to pick up your phone and do something with it. Anywhere, anytime. ultra high performance passenger, trailer, light truck, and SUV tires. And you heard Robbie talk about it a moment ago. Give it up for the official lighting sponsor of Torque, the ZXE headlights from Sylvania. Light is power. The Xenon Field and HID Attitude ZXE high performance headlights from Sylvania. How about get a pair? And also,
I love that.
When those rusty nuts, bolts, and locks won't budge, grab a can of liquid wrench penetrating oil. The fast-acting formula dissolves rust and cuts through grease to free your most stubborn problems. Plus, it's safe on painted surfaces. Liquid wrench penetrating oil for your toughest jobs. Make it move. And I know they're in town with a big, huge display. K&N Filters. The Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with a K&N high-flow air filter designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes on the strip or on the street, everyone loves that fast car smell.
Yes, they do.
And TireRack.com, headquartered in South Bend, Indiana. They are America's largest independent tire tester and your source for tires, wheels, and performance accessories, whether your driving surface is pavement, gravel, or mud. Their sales teams of over 100 test drivers test tires from every major manufacturer at the company's state-of-the-art 11.5-acre test facility. You can then use their results and findings at TireRack.com to make an educated decision on a tire, wheel, or performance accessory purchase. Place your order and have them delivered to your home, office, or over 8,000 independent recommended installers nationwide. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
That's a lot of people. 8,000.
Can you imagine the size of that warehouse? I think I've seen it. Was it on 80?
I don't know, 11 acres. That's a lot of people. Look at the fans out here, and they're about to see the Pro two-wheel drive, who is led by the C.J. Greaves.
Yeah.
I look at his stats this year, and something I didn't really realize. I know he's won more than 50% of the races he's entered, and in both classes. He's running Pro two-wheel drives and Pro 4. So he has 18 main events, 18 finals he's raced this year. He's won 10 of them, 5 in each. We'll be right back here in just a moment at Sturgis right after this.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with the K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell. Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with the K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell.
As they're making a cut through to get ready for the first lap of Pro two-wheel drive, let's start off the man on pole, Doug Matag. You saw him in that Pro Lights, and that Johnland Racing Team, Cooper Tire, AMSOIL Ford, number 81.
Then starting alongside of him out of Crandon, Wisconsin, the hotbed of short course off-road racing. Driving for Traxxas, Cooper Tires, and AMSOIL. It's the number 7 of Keegan Kincaid.
He has one win on this year out of Louisiana. The Systems Control AMSOIL Maxxis Tire 4. Look out for the 15 of Marty Hart.
Our next driver from Abrams, Wisconsin, just north of Green Bay, driving for Monster Energy, Toyota, Maxxis, Method Race Wheel, and Forest County Potawatomi. He's got NASCAR watching him. C.J. Greaves.
Brad Lovell in the 44 and the AMSOIL Spider Tracks BF Goodrich Ford. Truck sounds a little different than normal. We'll see if that's anything.
And finally, from Scottsdale, Arizona, driving for Gunk and Cooper Tire, the 25. Ladies, this is your man, Ari Lyondike Jr. Well, is he not?
Ladies, hey guys, this might be your man too out there. It didn't make a difference. Hey, I'm a Ari Lyondike Jr. fan. Here we go. Start of the Pro 2-wheel drive. Green means go. Let's go racing. On the inside is Doug Matag. Outside is Keegan Kincaid, who won this race last year.
In his first time ever in a Pro 2. Now he's got his own truck. Was running in Pro Light at the time, stepped up and won his first race ever. Now he'll fall back to second. Matag, our leader in Pro 2.
And you see CJ Greaves back there in third in the 33, the red background. He's the series points leader with those 5 victories in 9 tries this year.
And you notice right now they can adjust their brake bias from front to rear in that second turn. It looked like Keegan Kincaid is still adjusting because he had his front tires locked up, back tires were spinning.
Now taking that inside line is something that Matag might, be a little bit more aware than the other guys. He just come off the track, albeit a different animal.
Whoa, look at the air these guys are going. Matag throws that truck sideways at least about 120 feet before he got to the corner.
He couldn't keep his foot into that whole time, though. That front wheel was one to lift up, then to set it down and lift it back up again. Matag, Kincaid, Greaves, Lovell in 4th. 5th place is Marty Hart. 6th is Ari Lyondike Jr. in the 25. Whoa, bicycles are free.
Matag looks like he's pulling away a little bit, up to about 2, maybe 3 car lengths.
I don't know. He was riding that whole left side wheels.
Man,
I think I'd let him catch up.
It's amazing how fast they can make up ground. Again, tire battle still going on. They're not OEM tires, but the tire manufacturers are keeping score of what's going on up front.
1 and 2 are both using Cooper, if I'm not correct.
Yeah.
3rd place would be Max's tire entry of CJ Greaves.
4th is BF Goodrich, I believe, with Brad Lovell.
Okay, and again, the competition caution will come out at the halfway point. There it is, again squaring it up. That time he just keeps his foot in it and gets it going.
Matag looking real good. Up on that berm. That's right. That's the line he has to take coming out of that final corner, right there on that edge.
Whoa! He jumped way down there in the bottom. But the attitude of the truck is in a nice, stable way. It wasn't like it was front end heavy or anything, or front end light. He was nice and smooth in that landing. And there's a lot of suspension. It's not near as rough as you or I would think.
I'm amazed. We got 3 very, very young drivers running up front. I think Keegan is the oldest by what? I think he's 25, 26.
Thinking I had that in my
years
notes.
old Keegan, but we got Matag running up front. He may be 21, I'm not sure. And CJ right now is 20 years old. So our top 3 very young drivers out there putting on one heck of a show.
Rhythm section there, trying to get up that hill. Then they have to go back down that hill. CJ having a little bit of a bobble there. Looks like the truck almost stopped for a moment, and I think that's going to now enable Keegan to separate himself just a little bit more.
I'm amazed at the confidence that Doug Matag has coming down that hill into that left-hand corner. The way he pitched that truck so early into that corner and off camber besides. I mean, you got to be...
He did it first lap of practice, though, yesterday. The first few laps, he was already doing it. And I think sometimes you get in that feel where you have to do that. There's 3rd place, CJ Greaves, the series points leader.
Now keep in mind, he's also going to be jumping into a Pro 4 now right after this race, which he's leading in points, I believe, as well, right?
Yes. He's leading both classes with so many victories.
You mentioned in the last lap that CJ almost came to a stop at the top of that right-hand corner. They all are. They're trying to get, when the trucks hit that top, they're actually unloaded in the suspensions, so they have to come to a stop, let the truck settle so it can rotate to come back down.
Yeah. You steer with that front end. Actually, a lot of these guys, you'll hear that having to steer with that rear end, but when you've got so much weight on that rear end going uphill, it's hard to bring it around sometimes.
Yeah, CJ had a huge push in that last corner where he basically, again, he had to stop, set it, get it to rotate, and then take off again.
The thing is, you want to be in at least 2nd place. It's very important. Keegan, yeah, he wants to be in 1st, but at least he's in 2nd. He knows he's got one guy to work with. CJ Greaves back in 3rd. He says 1st may be out of the picture, but if I can get to 2nd on that mandatory caution and that restart, I can make something happen. So the big race is, can CJ catch up to 2nd? but I don't know. I think he's dropping back more and more.
Yeah, we're watching something very uncharacteristic with CJ right now. Usually he's like tapping the bumper. He's like the shark in the bloody water. He's just kind of snaking around there a little bit. Right now, he's not even in the picture as far as battling for second, to say nothing of the lead.
I think both of these guys, all three of these guys, have strong engines, strong motors. It's the way that the truck's set up, and whether it be slippery, suspension, you know, whatever it is, it's not going exactly where you want it and still getting that drive. Could be something as simple as tires, or maybe they're on the same tires, but they have a little different cut in that tire. That's done by personal preference. But Matag, again, he wasn't quite fast enough to win the Pro Lights, and he looks fast enough that he could win this Pro 2 here today.
And it's amazing the track is in the condition that it is with the rain that we had last night and how sticky and gloppy this dirt is, and to have it right now be so hard packed and blue grouped in certain areas, and it's not going away. It's the more they run on it, the harder it gets. So it turns into almost concrete.
Right, you see Matag, who's leading right now. He won back in Charlotte the first night in Charlotte. He actually won the Lights and the Pro 2s at Charlotte. So tracks that, you know, he typically does well in the Pro Light. He comes out pretty strong in the Pro 2 too. But might be just a favorite, you know, favorite type of scenario. You might like this type of track.
And the kid just loves to take chances, and that's what this track is all about.
Yeah.
You have to take chances to make any kind of a move. And this part right here, this is the scariest part of the entire track. That jump right there and this setup.
If he's in a slippery part, I don't think it's going to bother him that bad. If he slides into that cushion and all that weight is going to the outside, that's when it goes to pucker factor 13.
Yeah.
Because you roll to that outside and you're just done.
And you got to be on the throttle to keep from going over or keep from catching. If you got that back wheel spinning, you can pretty much save just about everything.
Calm caution coming out halfway through this race.
There's Space Desney with the simultaneous liquid wrench yellow and the red flag signifying the competition yellow is out. We'll regroup everybody back bumper to bumper as the AMSOIL Pace trucks out on the track.
Hey, knocking on wood, we haven't had an actual caution flag yet. We've had the liquid wrench yellow. I just want to say, I'm not going to jinx it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. We haven't had one. Knocking there, no wood to knock on. No wood to knock on. But we haven't had one.
If there is one, I'm going to point the finger at you, and I'm going to let them know that you brought it up.
Let it happen. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Torque the Off-Road Championship is brought to you by Liquid Wrench Penetrating Oil, dissolves rust and unsticks the toughest nuts and bolts, and by Ide Industries, professional race canopies and hospitality tents, and by Cooper Tire. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. And by Motor Medic. Maximize your vehicle's performance and long live your ride. Torque the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL. We're in Sturgis, stop number 11. Battle at the chip, and we've got a battle up front with Doug Matag, Keegan Kincaid, CJ Greaves, Brad Lovell, Marty Hart. They all start nose to tail. The only guy out of the picture. What happened to Ari Leidendijk Jr., the only guy not in that field.
I'll be anxious to find out to see what CJ's got up his sleeve. Is there some sort of mechanical issue? Is he just biding his time?
Yeah.
You know, we'll find out. I've always been saying he's been patient.
I've seen him bide his time in second. I've never seen him bide his time in third.
He was well back in third. That's the thing too. So we're gonna find out what he's got up his sleeve, if anything.
I don't think it's handling quite like he wants. I don't think he can put it where he wants to put it.
Oh, and Keegan is just pressuring our leader right now, Matag, at the drop of the green. Look how bumper to bumper they are, without a doubt.
Get on it. Oh, a little wheel spin, I think, from Matag. Look at this at the back. Oh, look closer from that shot, but Keegan's going to get a good run when the back end comes up on Matag. And now look at CJ diving to the inside.
Here comes Marty Hart outside of Brad Lovell, back in that fourth spot. But up front, the top three, bumper to bumper. CJ Greaves about 3 truck lengths back. Here
Marty
comes
Hart got
Marty
it.
Hart, yeah.
Keegan moves into second, or does he? He's going to set up on the inside here. Look, totally different line than we've seen him. But there's really not anywhere he can go down there because it just chokes off that turn too much.
Now you remember when there was passes made last year in Pro 2 and Pro 4, there had to be contact made. There's no clean passing in this track, especially in the corners, especially in this final corner coming up for the flag.
A little bit of a bobble by Matag, but because Keegan was in the same tracks, he couldn't take advantage of it. Now Keegan sets up Scott Douglas style on that outside. He's on the bicycle. Matag, he's throwing stuff. I think a tire's gone.
Somebody's losing a tire.
It's Matag, is it or not? Or he's losing a lot of mud. Something was
that
thrown.
was more than mud. That flew about, what, 50, 60 feet in the air. Something's going on in the track somewhere.
What happened? I thought it had to be Matag, because it looked like he was just throwing Maybe he was off the track. Oh, take advantage.
There it is. The door's open. Kincaid goes inside. They're still side by side. Matag hanging on. It looks like Keegan might take it and does.
Now watch Matag. He's going to go to that inside again, try and stuff his way, and he does that. Now on the throttle, all three of them coming down that downhill.
And here comes Marty Hart to make a 4-truck battle.
Oh, son. Now we've got a race going on. We'll see if Keegan can pull away or CJ looks faster, and he's looked all race. Matag's got problems.
No, he upset the... He couldn't rotate. He couldn't finish the rotation of the corner. CJ was leaning on that back bumper, so CJ backed off a tad.
Marty
Yeah,
taking advantage.
That? There's the wily veteran, Marty Hart. And for some of the fans that may be here, that's the name of the driver, I should say rider, back in the Mickey Thompson days on a three-wheeler.
Yeah, he was a national champion for Honda, a factory rider. When Ricky Johnson was on motorcycles, Marty was the bad man on 3 wheels.
And now CJ has moved up into second.
Yep, he did that again when Matag got a little whoppy-jawed, and then CJ took advantage of it, and Marty looked far enough up the track ahead like a veteran does, and he took advantage of Matag. Matag went from what? In 1 turn, 2 turns, he went from 1st to 5th.
Yeah, there's something happened that we both saw that part, something fly way high in the air. It can't be fiberglass.
Was it? I mean, mud flap. I don't know what it was. It was something just flung. But it looks like he's doing okay now. Marty Hart behind CJ.
Yeah.
I thought he might be the fastest guy. He just kind of held back at first, but I don't know. CJ looks like he might be every bit as quick as Keegan.
And this is a spot that actually CJ likes to be in. He likes to be the hunter as compared to the hunted. And we've seen Keegan in this spot too this year, and look how he's throwing that truck sideways in that corner coming downhill. I can't emphasize enough how off camber that is and the commitment you have to do to show going into that corner.
Getting wide, that's a longer line. Usually shorter is quicker unless you're on that cushion getting the drive. But I think Keegan went a little bit too wide. And again, a bumper here and a bumper there. That's 2 bumpers widths. And I think that time CJ made up some ground on Keegan Kincaid, a man who won here in his first ever Pro 2, like you said last year. You know he has good thoughts about Sturgis.
And obviously Keegan's got his dad, Jeff Kincaid, spotting for him, and to the fact that he's one of the winningest drivers in all of short course off-road racing. Right now spotting for the number 7 Tracks Century of Keegan.
Look at that, a little hiccup again by Keegan going up that one little roller.
It's a little wide, man, just inching a little bit at a time,
He might be set up for more of a more situation. He needs that outside more. Maybe CJ set up for harder pack. He's trying to find the slicker areas, don't you think?
It appears that way. And again, we're going right back to those tires. Are those tires set up for the second half of this race being dry slick?
That would explain why CJ wasn't as fast at the front end of that race as well. We'll ask Johnny and CJ after the race, or actually Tiffany Stonewell. Look at this. Again, having to go outside to that cushion. CJ searching for that slicker ground. He might have more rubber to the ground there as a flag.
Whoa.
Still green.
Marty Hart nearly off the track coming to that final corner. He was right in front of us here.
And the one thing about Keegan having to go outside where the cushion is to get that traction, what does that do? It opens the door so many places for CJ.
And the thing is, the wheel time that Keegan's been getting lately, running multiple different race cars in different series, and he's learning just as much.
CJ or Keegan?
Keegan.
CJ too. You remember he raced late models, last week I think we heard.
Yeah, back in central Wisconsin. Yeah, CJ venturing into that pavement circle track world.
CJ with a little bit of push. Again, he's still, it looks like, trying to find that harder packed ground to get that drive. And that would be the shorter distance, which is a lot of times quicker.
Man.
A little rotation.
Boy, Keegan just sounds so good right now. That motor's purring so beautifully.
He went lower that time. Look how much lower he went in the turn that time than the one before. At least a good 2 truck lengths lower. Is that the white flag?
White flag. Keegan into turn 1 through the rhythm section, looking nice and clean so far. And what's neat about this, every body panel's in place. Nothing's been tore off. He's running such a clean, smooth race. And all the contact they're making at the early portion of this race, the truck still looks virtually like it's on the first lap.
Yeah, it looks like one of those Traxxas trucks that you can buy. The RC trucks you'll see out here in the pits. A lot of guys run them. We'll see Mike Jenkins driving one too here in just a little bit. Oh, CJ just kept his foot in it and it just took him so wide. He just couldn't get that grip.
Yeah, he knows he's running out of time and opportunities, and he's got to make something happen. And
Nice
like you
line.
talk about all the time, he runs a completely different line than what Keegan is. And look at the air that Keegan's getting.
One more turn for Keegan Kincaid. This is the Pro two-wheel drive. Keegan Kincaid sits third in points, and ironically, as he comes down this front straightaway, the third victory of the year for Keegan Kincaid in Pro two-wheel drive. CJ Greaves in the Monster Energy Toyota in second. Looks like Marty Hart in third. A good ride by him, a drive by him on the systems control, number 15. And Brad Lovell rounding out the field, the 44 in the Amsoil Spider Tracks BF Goodrich Ford. So a good race, came down to the very end, but Keegan, just like last year, wins again here in Sturgis.
Like I said, look at that truck. Not a body panel tore off. Everything looks great. Truck sounded fantastic.
There he goes. He heads to the pits. He'll head up to the victory podium in just a second. And there he goes once again, the 7, the Traxxas 7 of Keegan Kincaid. We'll hear from the victory podium here in a bit.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight, the tranny gauge, the water gauge, oil gauge, everything's pegged. The Amsoil product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
Whether you're a professional driver tearing up the hot mud of the track, or a daily driver hitting the cool city streets at night, we built the tire for both of you. At Atturo Tires, we believe great tires do not have to cost a great deal of money. A proven winner, a tire able to handle anything you throw at it on the street or trail. An Atturo Tire, performance within reach.
This is Pete. Pete is helping his aunt move, so he's not thinking about tires right now. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. They post their own test results and user reviews, so he could get the right tires for his car in as little as 1 business day. But Pete's not thinking about tires. Pete's thinking it would have been nice if his aunt had mentioned the Minor Bird. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Welcome back to Torque the Off-Road Championship, the battle at the chip. We had a battle in the Pro two-wheel drive. Scott Rain and Keegan Kincaid, just like last year, was the fastest Pro two-wheel drive.
You know, the kid is really come around. I mean, he didn't race when he was like 15, 16 years old. I mean, he started.
What was he doing?
Hanging out with his dad, his grandpa in the pits. I mean, he's working on this stuff, and now it's almost like there's one of those situations where it took him like 15 years to be an overnight sensation kind of thing.
And the thing with Keegan also, that we talk about that win last year, he wasn't supposed to drive Pro two-wheel drive. His dad, wrecked that. He did the one-handed double face auger in that Traxxas truck last year, and that enabled him to get in the truck. And now he's in it full-time for 2015 and takes his 3rd victory of the season, just like that little RC truck. Congratulations, Keegan.
On that great win. You were pretty much flying through the air over here. I saw that. Does the win affect anything in that? Does it give you a little push towards the end? Because it seemed to give you that first place podium finish today.
Yeah, and I saw Doug's tire going away and he spun out a little bit, and I thought someone was going to go around us, but we put our head down and it put this Traxxas truck up on top of the box again, and it feels good, you know, after we had a little bit of bad luck and after Crandon, and to finally put this back up there, and these Cooper tires hold on just long enough, and they shot us right to the front. So I can't thank them enough, and all my family and this crowd. This crowd is awesome out at Sturgis here.
It also seems like you were saying with your tires. How's that track out there? Is it still a little bit sticky? How did that go for you?
Oh, that was one of the most brutal tracks we probably raced on yet this year, and it's tore up. There's ruts everywhere, so it's kind of survival of the fittest, and you know, you just try not to make a mistake, and you know, we were fortunate, and we put this thing on top of the box today.
Well, congratulations on that first place finish for you. So we're heading over here, Sturgis. I know you guys saw that race. How was that over there? Was that better than the Pro Lights, or just as good as the Pro Lights? Nobody's saying anything. You guys are speechless. You are so speechless. So now we are going to our second place winner, Mr. CJ Greaves.
Oh, knocked my screen out.
CJ, congratulations on your podium finish. How was that out there for you today?
You know, the rocks are crazy. I mean, they did a great job after all the rain to get us a track to race on, but I think we got down to the bottom of it, and it's just solid rock. So it just came down to who ran the smoothest and the best lines, and I didn't have anything for those guys at the beginning, but at the end, I thought I had something for him and made one little mistake, and it was enough for Keegan to squeak away. But he drove his butt off, hats off to him and Marty, and all my team, my family, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Forest County, Potawatomi, Method Race Wheels, Fox Shocks, AMSOIL, all you Sturgis crowd for coming out here, thanks.
Congratulations and good luck in Pro 4. And for our third place finisher, Mr. Marty Hart. Congratulations on that. That was quite a battle out there. What was going through your head? You know, everybody was going through. You finally got into that third place. What was going through your mind during that time?
Well, I was dodging bullets out there. Those rocks were brutal. I got shuffled back. I kind of went off the edge over there. His roost was so bad, so I missed the edge of the track over there and went all the way to dead last, and just kind of worked my way back up through there. But I mean, it's like someone standing there with a fire hose shooting rocks at you, so it's pretty brutal. But the track just came apart there, and you know, it was just a battle hanging onto your truck. So by the time I kind of got all the way up into position, I kind of used up most of my truck because I was bottoming it everywhere. And but it was a good battle all in all. Hope we put on a good show for these fans.
Well, it seemed to work out for you. Congratulations on that podium finish. Thank you.
Special thanks to Maxxis, Gear Up to Go, AMSOIL, Systems Control, Caterpillar, all the guys that helped us get here. Appreciate it.
Congratulations again. And we are going to do one more thing. So we decided we love selfies so much. So when the guys take a selfie, I need all of this wonderful Sturgis crowd out here to put your hands up in the air, make the most noise, and we're going to have these guys over here. And pretty much we're going to do this right now. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, hands up in the air, Sturgis. I think we can do better in Pro 4.
Oh, she's calling them out there. I think the Pro 4 you can do better. That's cool. Good deal. But Keegan, yeah, he's got a big smile. I think CJ said it best up there. Hey, Keegan deserved it. He ran hard. He ran a good race. He made a bobble, and he won. But Keegan K takes a victory. CJ Greaves will get ready for Pro 4, and Marty Hart there in third. And we didn't think there were as many rocks, but there might be clods of dirt out there, and I promise you they're roosting those things at about 100 miles an hour. So
without a doubt, yeah.
we have 2 races down. We still have 1 more to go. Keegan K with a smile on his face. Will CJ Greaves to his left get a smile in the Pro 4. He's going to hop out of that truck and right into this one and get ready for our final race of the day here in just a bit.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
When I'm out there racing, God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust, there's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
All you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
This is Bob. Bob's on a first date, so he's not thinking about where to buy his next set of tires. But if he were, all he'd need to know is TireRack.com. They stock over 1 million tires and can have yours shipped to a trusted, independent, recommended installer in as little as 1 business day. But Bob's not thinking about tires. Bob's thinking, should I tell her about that thing in her teeth? TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
A beautiful breezy day here in Sturgis. We're at the Buffalo Chip, or just outside the typical campgrounds, but it's our Torque campgrounds, the Torque Series chalets just to our left that you cannot see that we've been in. We're doing it. We're one with the people.
That's basically our view, though.
Yeah.
That's
all
pretty much
day,
our view.
all week.
The campground, the main campgrounds, which you see in the background on the other side of the road.
And look how far down. That's that last downhill section, isn't it? Or is that the? Yeah, that's the last downhill into that off-camber turn.
Yeah, that's what the drivers see too. Yeah.
And that's what they see, and we want you to see some of our sponsors throughout the season.
Yeah, including VP Racing Fuels introduces Octanium Octane Improver. Octanium increases octane up to 8 full numbers, the highest improvement on the market, and makes more horsepower. Octanium is for off-road use only and is available at AutoZone. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com. Acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up, and nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N performance intake. And for more airflow in and more horsepower out guaranteed. Either pushing you even closer to that blurry line between wicked fast and whiplash. And Kenda Tires. For over 50 years, Kenda Tire has produced high-quality, affordable products for the automotive and specialty markets. Kenda is the tire choice of the number 27 Pro Light of Sean Morris. Visit their display area here at the track and to find out why Kenda Tires designed for your journey. And as you look around the racetrack, check out those good-looking uniforms that the Torque safety crew are wearing. Need something like this for your personal safety? Call the friends at Impact Racing to order your customized, designed driver and crew suit today. Or visit them at impactraceproducts.com. Iowa boys rule.
This is Torque, the Off-Road Championship, presented by Amsoil. And speaking of the devil, Mr. Amsoil is here. Jeremy Meyer, nice little banner right there in the middle of the throng of people out there. Did you ride your bike here all the way from the Midwest?
Well, that's a it's a nice 12-14 hour drive.
So you did?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I took a plane in, so because I gotta get home quick and I gotta go fishing.
Even though this is a four-wheel sport, Torque the Off-Road Championship, you're heavy into two wheels as well. I get to talk about Amsoil Arena Cross, but I saw the bikes down there getting the oil changes downtown right off of State Street as well.
Yeah, we're the official oil of the entire Sturgis Rally, and of course out here at the famed Buffalo Chip. We've been here for a couple of years. We've been out downtown in Sturgis for 8-10 years, a number of years now, and we're doing oil changes everywhere. We're doing it downtown. We're doing it out here at the Buffalo Chip. We're in Spearfish and Deadwood, and we're up in Rapid City. We're kind of all over, a bunch of places everywhere, and we got some big booths and big activations going on, and of course a little bit of off-road racing.
What's happening new as far as like a guy that's a Harley, or it might be a Honda or a Kawasaki or anything else like that? Is there anything new on the technology front as far as Amsoil's dealing with, or you think you got this so mastered you just hooked up like a tow truck?
Well, the technology changes every year. Everybody knows that with their bikes. Just
Right.
We were talking about it earlier today. You used to get a short filter or a long filter. You didn't have different kinds of filters or different numbers. So just the technology in the motors has been changing, and AMSO's really put a lot into their two-wheel technology this year. We came out with new dirt bike oils, a whole lineup of that to separate it from our regular 1040. We have primary new V-twin primary and transmission fluids that came out this year, and we've always touted one oil to fill all 3 holes. Well, we came out and came out with those 2 products this year to revamp the lineup of our V-twin, and we came out with a new 60, and we came out with a new 1030. So we've really been putting a lot of effort and technology and development into the new two-wheel market.
Your shirt says it right here, the first in synthetics. Is there a difference between the synthetic and conventional oils as far as the amount of time you need to change your oil, whether be the tranny oil?
Well, synthetics, they don't break down as quick. A petroleum oil they break down very quick. They're the ones who came up with a 3,000-mile oil change, and they want you to change your oil a lot less often, or more often. And AMSOIL,
so that's not necessary, right? I mean, if you have a good oil like AMSOIL in there, you don't need to change it every
Yeah,
3.
whether it's your car or your bike, it depends on how you run it, especially with your bike in these hot weathers. You still want to change as much as you can when you can, because you're beating the heck out of your bike. Especially in the stop and go traffic. We see, we still see guys that are overheating and seeing some knocking and stuff like that. So you get our coolant boost, or get a nice fresh oil change out here, and it's just taking care of it. Know your bike and know the demands that your bike and your car and your truck and whatever you got are getting put through.
All right, you're the pro, you're the expert. Do you change between a summer and winter oil as far as the viscosity?
For my car?
The range, either way.
No. I change my oil once a year in my truck.
Just let it live.
Just let it live. And we're Duluth, Minnesota, and it's 30, 40 below, and it's 80, 95 above.
And it's still the same range.
Same oil. It's I put our 520 Signature Series in my Ford F-150. I change it every October.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can see you in AMSOIL Arena Cross. What do you think about the racing today here at Torque? Pretty strong racing right off the lights and the twos, both of them good.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was one of the better pro light races I've seen in a long time. Just back and forth, and guys, from first to fifth, and guys moving up from fifth to first, and really, really great job by the Ponzi team there today. They really needed that one, and he had some guys there who know how to win races right on his butt, and they'll be back in the mix tomorrow. And Pro 2 is great. 5 trucks there finishing right nose to tail, and what a great race. Keegan did a great job, and what a wonderful race. And I know that these Pro 4 guys are hungry. They've been a little pissed off all year, so they're ready to roll.
Yeah, they're ready to hit the track and see what that horsepower with 4 wheels clawing can do. Thank you, Jeremy Meyer from AMSOIL. Again, help support AMSOIL. They support the sport of torque, the off-road championship presented by AMSOIL, but also motorcycling as well.
Yeah. We'll have to be great together.
When you're stuck with a dead battery, Pep Boys has the one you need and the human decency to install it for free. Trust the boys to get you there.
K&N Performance Air Intake Systems. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Hello, everybody, the tens, the hundreds of thousands of fans down below at the Buffalo Chip. If you can hear me, come over here because you're hearing the motor of the Pro 4-wheel drive. It sounds like, yep, it's CJ Greaves, the engine I'm hearing first. And no, maybe it's Johnny Greaves.
No, and it's a little bit different sound than what CJ runs, but
right.
Describing it to now again, keep in mind we're in Sturgis, we're around a bunch of bikers, so I feel I can say this. One way to describe Johnny's sound of that truck.
What?
Pissed off.
Angry.
Pissed off, no doubt about it. And it's a beautiful sound. So once again, he's coming around that final corner on the warm-up lap. CJ's right behind him. That's his 20-year-old son, Scott Douglas, going by. We'll get Richie Kuloff out there in the pace truck, in the AMSOIL pace truck. And by the way, I guess I'm supposed to, I'm not exactly sure who's here, but I'm supposed to call out somebody in the crowd and say, hey, there ain't nobody like boys from Iowa.
What's that?
Iowa boys are #1 or something like that.
Are you saying that to Cam Reimers?
I don't know. I don't think it's Cam Reimers. Somebody was telling Richie that I got to call out.
Big Iowa fan, huh?
You know, they got the greatest pork chops. Corn on the cob, Iowa. Heck yeah.
I thought you said the greatest pork chop and corn on the cob's down here near Tex Effects.
But they're from Iowa.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. All right, so we line them up for Pro 4-wheel drive. CJ Greaves, we talked about how he's a series points leader. He has 5 wins on the season. His dad, Johnny, has 3. Scott Douglas, with the only one that the last name it is not Greaves, with a victory this year in Pro 4-wheel drive. Johnny actually sets pole on the Monster Energy Toyota Maxxis Method tires, or Method wheels, excuse me, Forest County Potawatomi Toyota. He'll be in the 22.
And here's the real interesting formula of this race. His 20-year-old son right next to him on the front row, driving for Toyota Maxxis tire, Monster Energy, Method in the Forest County Potawatomi. He was just out there in Pro 2, now in Pro 4, the 22-year-old CJ Greaves.
He won back in Texas. He hails from El Cajon, California. He drives for AMSOIL, Borla, and Walker Evans Racing, the Cooper Tire Ford of Scott Douglas.
Our next driver comes from McKinney, Texas. He's the president CEO of all those tracks, this RC trucks you see ripping around here. He runs on Cooper Tires, number 47 of Mike Jenkins.
And new to the Pro 4-wheel drives, but not new to Torque the Off-Road Championship on the CAT AMSOIL, Rigid Industries, Fox, Walker Evans Wheels, Maxxis Tire Ford. That is Chad Horde. He's looking for a win this year. It could happen here. He's been fast in spurts. He's looking to get all 12 of these laps dialed in and take his first Pro 4 victory.
Brand new truck for him, brand new time. First time he's been in Pro 4 in 2015. You know what? It's hard to call him a rookie in this class, but he is, really.
He's gotten second back at St. Louis. He's trying to bump that up 1 here today. But who's going to get the whole shot?
Oh, there's
Johnny.
no doubt about it, yeah. CJ was sleeping. And Johnny pulls the whole shot into 1. Here comes Douglas.
Scott Douglas on the inside to AMSOIL 7. See if CJ on that outside could get a little bit better drive. I think Douglas has held a better position here. Watch the drop off. Yeah, they had to tuck in.
Yeah, here's where it gets real tricky. Johnny got a little loose coming out of the corner. It looked like everybody was. So there's something, maybe kind of an off camber on the exit of that corner that's causing everybody to do that.
A little stair stepped as far as the way the driver. Oh, rubber rotation station.
And will he hang on this second as Jenkins was right there? Oh, CJ pulls the inside.
Not with the right come.
CJ going, you want to go outside here? I'll help you.
I'm sorry. I'll give you a hand. I didn't mean to run you off the track. I just ran it in a little too hard.
Hey, remember turn 1? Yeah, right back at you, bud.
That was the case. The CJ back in second, Scott in third. And actually, Scott had problems the turn before that as well. But I was talking about stair stepping as they went down those downhills. They didn't want to follow in the exact same tracks. Each one was about 2 tire widths to the left of each other as you work back through the field.
Pretty much single file order right now as they head into turn 1. There's Douglas through the rim section. Jenkins right behind him. He'll go to the inside.
I like how
Jenkins has been real racy in 2015.
I like how he changed it up. Unfortunately, the inside is wider coming into the turn, but it's just as narrow exiting the turn. I know some of the guys were saying, man, I just wish they would have opened it up a little bit more throughout that first turn.
Yeah, look how they're exiting the corner and then going back to the outside to make the inside left-hand turn. Yeah, this is that real tricky uphill into that, I think you call it Talladega corner?
Yeah, the
high banked, yeah.
And that's followed by, what do we call it, the AMSOIL drop zone.
Yeah, oh boy, do they.
There it is, dropping off. And we talked about the competition caution earlier, and CJ's in a spot that he's okay with right now. Scott Douglas gets by him, he's not so okay. What'd you see?
I just saw Jenkins just dive very hard in that left-hand corner and turned his front of his truck into a snowplow, or mud plow, I should say.
That was him just behind Scott Jenkins in 4th place, Chad Horde in 5th.
Now keep in mind, 900 plus horsepower, 4-wheel drives, all 4 tires are grabbing. They get from point A to point B really quick.
And they can take a different line than you saw. Even with the same motors, they can take different lines than you saw those Pro 2s that are only pulling with those two wheels. Look at that outside line, though. He's won that fresh dirt.
No, some of these guys have a system inside the truck, and they all have different nicknames from or whatever. But it's kind of
look at that berm.
It's
right
like
there.
either a brake actuated or just lifting on the throttle actuates it, but it actually shuts off front-wheel drive, helps them rotate the car in the corners, and as soon as they hit the throttle again, all 4 tires are grabbing again. So whether it be a little button or a lever or just the brake lever, they all got a different system. That's what's cool about Pro 4. It's a little bit more wide open in the rules where you can kind of experiment with things like that.
If not, they'd have like a natural push, right? Because the front end would want to try and just overdrive
imagine driving 4-wheel drive in snow. That's exactly what it's like in a Pro 4.
I don't like it. I like 2-wheel drive. I like being able to use that back end to bring me around. Johnny likes being out in front right now. The 22, the Deuce Monster Energy, Method wheels, Toyota, Maxxis tires. And you know, I talked about him being in some of that fluff and some of that looser section. If you're in front and you're running good lines, you still might want to stay in that fluff to not burn up those tires, even if you're set for the later part of the track, you know?
Yeah.
Don't stay in the stuff and just burn them up when you don't have anything left at the end.
Well, I've seen, you know, going back a few years when Jimmy Johnson was running this series, I mean, he would literally, Jimmy Johnson would literally, and at a moment like this, he would, on a long straightaway, would look for puddles, look for water, or
what you do in rain
real
races.
mud, yeah. And he would do that. He would to cool his tires off, just even for a moment.
Yep, and that's exactly what you do, whether it be karting or something. If you've got a wet tire on that's soft, you stay in that wet to keep it tired. If not, you just burn that tire up, and maybe he's got a softer compound.
Are we seeing a repaint from earlier this year where the sun is slowly reeling in Dad? And having talked to Mom a few times about a situation like this, Kathy Greaves goes, Scott, you got to understand that for the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's been CJ spotting for his dad. So CJ, better than anybody, knows exactly what his dad is going to do, where he's going to go, and how it's going to happen. So there's nobody better to pass Johnny than his own son, CJ.
Well, let's talk about these 2 trucks. Although they're their teammates, their father and son, the trucks are set up different as far as the engine and transmission package.
Yeah, Johnny's got the super high revving, smaller cubic inch TRD Toyota motor with a was a 5-speed or 6-speed sequential. So you constantly hear him going back. It's almost like a motorcycle, just constantly shifting. CJ in their hand is pretty more traditional than what the other guys are running. A little bit bigger motor, heavier truck, but there is a 10-pound per cubic inch weight rule in this class. So that's kind of the parameter, one of the only parameters they have.
Johnny, I think that's hurting him all around, actually, because he's the only one running that small engine out of everyone. And
but
it's not a benefit. They actually, this past year, he still has to run heavier weight in that truck, even though he's got a smaller engine. And he's like, man, that ain't quite fair. But I guess when you're kicking their tail, they're going to try and slow you down. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. That's not what I think, but that's what he thinks.
Well, you can see right there, it's a great shot when he got to the top of the hill. The truck unloaded the suspension, and he actually had to stop so the truck would settle back down so he could rotate through that corner.
An unweighted truck like that, or not putting any weight on those front tires, it's hard to turn it. I think CJ's calming down, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Right now, CJ's fine where he's at, waiting for that red and yellow flag. Yep.
The liquid wrench. Competition caution will come out at the halfway point. Don't overdrive. Don't burn up the tires. Your spotters, he probably got to a certain point. If he could have got in front, if he saw he could have, he would have. But if not, it's okay. I'll start nose to tail, and I'll beat you the second half. It's a 6-lap race. I want to win it.
I'm kind of watching the sequence between CJ and Scott Douglas right now. Those two have a little bit of a history this season. And it looks like the competition yellow has just come up. There it is. The liquid wrench yellow and the red simultaneously. And we'll slow down the pace a little bit. We'll get Richie Kuloff and the AMSOIL pace truck out on the track. Get the boys lined up bumper to bumper and go back at it again in about a half a lap.
So even though we were focused on pretty much those top 2 guys, everybody else has a chance still to win this race because now they're nose to tail to start. I'd like to thank our sponsors here. Carbon is the enemy of any fuel system, zapping the power and performance out of your engine with Motor Medic's new Fuel Pro Complete, the professional grade fuel system cleaning kit. You can take back the power in just 5 minutes with 2 easy steps. Fuel Pro Complete from Motor Medic. Find it at your local auto supply retailer. And Ida Industries, the official race canopy sponsor of Torque the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL. It's an award-winning fabricator of transport trailer canopy systems, corporate hospitality tents, mobile marketing exhibits, and custom shade structures. Ida provides pro hospitality for pro teams, and you can visit them online at www.racecanopies.com. And are you a hardcore racer, a weekend warrior, an off-road enthusiast? Well, Pep Boy Speed Shop has you covered with thousands of performance and off-road starts. Don't wait for mail order to arrive. Check out the thousands of in-stock speed, performance, and off-road parts, all brands you want to keep you going. Go to www.petboys.com/speedshop to check out all the Speed Shop locations nationwide, and proud to be a Torque Series sponsor. And follow all the action of your favorite Cooper Tire driver on Twitter at Team Cooper Tire. Cooper Tire, an official tire sponsor of Torque, the Off-Road Series. Visit CooperTire.com to locate a dealer near you. There's my speed reading for the day. K Pasa, what happened to CJ? Where is he at? I took my eye reading my my copy here.
Dead last. He's back in the pack.
Did he get a penalty?
Not sure if he went into the hot pits. Where we're sitting, we can't really see the whole track. So CJ fell. He's fallen back to the back of the pack.
He didn't go in for the.
He didn't duck in.
If he comes into the hot pit, he has to go back in the back. But maybe I missed something.
He didn't pass the pace truck, so he didn't duck into the hot pits.
So it'd have to be a penalty, maybe. I don't know. I'll try and get the word. We'll try and get an answer.
So that puts Johnny Greaves, Douglas, Jenkins, Horde, Greaves in the back of the pack. Oh, Johnny's holding him. How about that? It looked like he may have slowed down a little bit even before he took the green flag.
Look at this. Mike Jenkins is going to be on the inside of Scott Douglas. Rotation too much, and Douglas is going to have to let both of those guys go. Man.
It looked like Johnny may have checked up a little bit going in the corner more than Scott was expecting.
That's twice he screwed up.
Because Douglas just dynamited the brakes going there, had nowhere to go, and voided him by going off the track, which cost him drastically.
Isn't that what he did in the first half of the race? Wasn't that Douglas who did the exact same thing when he was up there near the front? I think it was in that turn. I thought he just over-rotated and saved it better the time before. Well, that's where CJ got by.
That's why you over-rotated, because he went in the corner too hot, and Johnny, I think, checked up a little bit more than what he's anticipating.
Maybe.
Scott basically saved him and Johnny from having issues.
He did it twice, because he did it at the front, he did it there, so I would quit doing that. That's going to cost him. Now we'll see if CJ can get by Chad Horde.
He was sitting there in second spot, too. And look at the line their guys are taking way, way, way to the outside.
Coming down that front straight, nose heavy there by Mike Jenkins.
That puts him in second place right now. And like I said earlier in the race, he's been getting racy this year in 2015.
Hey, one guy I want to mention, Mark, we miss you. Mark Jenkins won this race, wasn't it, last year?
That was the race, I think, of the year.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Between him and Johnny. So, Mark, I hope you're listening, buddy. And I know we talked yesterday, but gosh darn it if you're missed.
Get back in there. You know there's trucks out there.
Yeah.
All right, so there's Mike in the Traxxas 47. He's in second, trying to track down that Toyota truck just in front of him. You know what? He's not too far behind. Chad Horde now has a truck on the inside of him, trying to rotate under, but not able to do it there. That's CJ Greaves.
Here comes CJ on the outside. That takes the line away from Chad Horde. Chad had to check up because he had the worst. He didn't have the preferred line, so Chad had to check up, and CJ played. Oh, you know what? CJ had to pull into the hot pits. I think he had a left rear flat tire. No, watch when he makes the corner. The left rear tire on CJ Greaves has a green rim.
Okay.
So I think
that wasn't on there earlier.
I think off camera, while during the competition yellow, CJ pulled into the hot pits, had a right rear change.
It was a little long for them to get to the part, so maybe that was the case. We didn't think he did.
It was left rear.
It was really fast as far as doing that tire change, but yeah, I don't know, man. They really changed it quick. I mean, it's not like a NASCAR where you just and be done. I mean, it takes some time.
That's one of the best crews in the business right there is the Greaves boys. So, yeah.
We're trying to get word.
Now, watch when he makes the corner up here. We'll see the left rear. Yeah, it would be the left rear. We'll see it.
I'm liking the way that Mike Jenkins is looking. I don't know if his truck's starting to come in. Johnny's too conservative, but I think Mike Jenkins is every bit as fast as Johnny Greaves. I think CJ might be a little quicker. He's just had to work his way back up through the wheel, whether it be a penalty or Yeah, that one green left wheel, and we didn't see it off camera what happened, but maybe it was a penalty. Maybe he just did have a tire change.
I'll put money on it that he pulled into the hot pits because Max is orange.
And we didn't see a problem out there from our vantage point that would be that way. Now CJ with a good drive. Look at the race for second. The orange truck, he's trying to go inside. He's going to jump inside here. He thought better of it. That's a smart, conservative move. Why chance it when there's still laps to go?
And the thing is, now we're getting to the point of the season, CJ might be playing the points game. He's being patient. He's so patient for a 20-year-old.
We thought that at times. I watched the Texas race, the first race of the year. He was jamming that truck in there at the first one. I think he developed a little more patience as the year's gone on. He's being very patient right now, trying to get underneath. Mike Jenkins did a good job right now. He's not in chase mode. He's in hold-off mode, it looks like, with CJ behind him. Whoa!
Oh, man. Oh, CJ's in the wrong spot. If he had ducked the inside instead of the outside, he had a shot at getting around Jenkins right there. And Mike is relatively right now holding up CJ.
He lost a position, though, I think. CJ, no. Mike gets a better drive on that outside line. Now we'll see the drag race down the front here, and Mike kind of moves to the middle again. Doesn't shut him down all the way. CJ goes in, but he really, again, doesn't have anywhere to come out to.
Well, and the thing is, too, keep in mind that left rear tire that I'm going to guarantee you this was changed in competition yellow is a fresher tire than the rest of the field. So that's the tire that basically when you got the right-hand corners, that left rear is taking all that pressure.
Bump. Oh, couldn't get the run. He needed that little tap to upset Jenkins. Instead, it upset his truck.
Wow, I'm surprised by Douglas still not able to take advantage and start working his way forward. So there may be something mechanical going on with Douglas right now.
I'm telling you, I get what you were saying about Johnny and him trying to avoid something, but that first one wasn't. It was just an over-rotation, and I'm wondering if he just didn't over-rotate twice. I think just maybe a little too loose in the rear.
Well, again, Douglas now up on two wheels, so we missed the off camera just for a moment, but no, I think Scott had to check up, which caused him to go into that over-rotation.
White flag is out. We're on the last lap of the Pro 4-wheel drive. Johnny Greaves leaves Mike Jenkins.
Here we go.
CJ close behind. He's going to get a good run here, but watch, it's a drop-off.
Throw that patience out the window. It's the last lap. CJ's got the inside line. He'll make contact if he has to. He runs up way to the outside.
Now Mike's still set up on that inside. CJ's got to drive around him. Is he going to be able to do it? He's got to run around him, and he looks like he does.
He checks up, rotates, checks up, rotates. They're still side by side up the hill.
And still wide for CJ, but there's a right-hander coming up this time, so he's going to be in a better position. Mike tries breaking and going underneath, but CJ holds it.
Yes, CJ totally outbraked him on that corner. He knew what Mike was going to do, and he prevented it from happening.
Now watch, one more off-camber left. They went through that AMSOIL drop zone. CJ on that outside is going to get a good drive out. Yeah, Jenkins going to lose a little bit, but coming down the front straightaway, the 22 going to take another victory for this season, make it his fourth win in Pro 4 this year. Johnny Greaves in that Maxxis tire. Monster Energy Toyota, his son CJ in second on that Maxxis tire Toyota as well. Mike Jenkins on the Traxxas Cooper tire Ford in third.
Once again, we want to invite everybody, please stick around. Don't go anywhere. Hang out. This is when the fun begins, because the guys can now finally just, maybe for a couple hours or so, relax a little bit, because then they're going to start working on these race trucks and get them ready for tomorrow.
And I don't know how many body parts are out there, but we can also tell the fans that they can walk the track. As soon as they clear it and get the okay, you can walk the track here, maybe pick up some of those fiberglass parts and get the drivers to sign it. We'll hear from the drivers and much, much more at Torque the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
when I'm out there racing. God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust. There's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
So all you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
Whether you're a professional driver tearing up the hot mud of the track, or a daily driver hitting the cool city streets at night, we built the tire for both of you. At Arturo Tires, we believe great tires do not have to cost a great deal of money. A proven winner, a tire able to handle anything you throw at it on the street or trail. An Arturo Tire, performance within reach.
Welcome back, and there's one of the favorite signs of many here at Sturgis. I don't know where that BAR place is, but
or at any torque track.
Yeah, it's a popular one. Oh man, I'm already thinking about Bark River, aren't you?
You had to bring that up, huh?
Yeah, the home of the Bark River Bloody Mary. Torque, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by AMSOIL. Oops, in there, I had my page flipped. Brought to you by KMC Wheels like no other, and by Boost. Get unlimited talk, text, and data with Boost Mobile. And by Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And by AMSOIL, the pulse of performance. I knew I had AMSOIL in there somewhere, but my sheets did flip. And Kenda Tires, all of our sponsors helped to make this event what it is. Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. AMSOIL, all of them. Thank you very much for doing what you do to help make this sport even better.
I even got, my phone's been blowing up with messages from people that knew what was going on that part of the track. CJ did pull into the pits to change that left rear tire. So.
And we are totally blind to that, so I know.
The only way I knew is because of the change.
The green.
The green tire,
Yeah, well, look at the man. He's all green. You know what's also green? Money. He gets the winner's purse in the Pro 4-wheel drive, and he was happy. Really not challenged very often. I mean, CJ, just before the competition caution, kind of gave him a little pressure, but that second half of that race, he really, Mike had him for a bit. Mike was close for a while, but only maybe a truck or two from him.
And you wouldn't know it, but I think Johnny's actually one of the more fit drivers that are behind the wheel, and that's exactly what this sport takes.
Old man strong.
When you're pushing all those G's in and out of those corners, up the hills and landing and taking off, that really beats up your body.
And lifting trophies too, man. It'll wear you out. He gets the number one plate, the number one trophy. The defending Pro 4-wheel drive down there is with Miss Torque, Tiffany Stone.
Congratulations, Mr. Johnny Greaves over here. How did it feel to get a podium finish on this race?
It was awesome, you know. I don't know how to say this, but it was probably kind of unfortunate that, you know, that the invert went like it did and we started on the front row, because it would have been a better race, you know, coming through the pack. But hey, I'll take a front row start if they're going to give me one. So, you know, I just had to keep it clean and not make any mistakes. This track has some huge holes and super easy to overdrive, and I just kept the cool tool out there and made sure CJ couldn't get right on my butt. And you know, when I heard he had a flat tire, I went, well, that'll give us a little breather, but I know he's still coming. And you know, I got to see a little bit of him and Mike Jenkins battling when I'd make that turn, and that was really cool. And you know, congrats to all the competitors. I want to thank these Sturgis fans for coming out. I hope they had a good time. We'll put on a lot better show tomorrow. And you know, hey, here's the Sturgis.
I know everybody's been talking about those rocks. Were the rocks giving you any problems out there today, out in the front?
Well, I wasn't getting them in the front window, that's for sure, but you really had to be careful. I mean, when you pitch these things in, you really want to throw them in hard, and you're just kind of watching every hole and every rock that you're throwing it into. So my spotter was telling me I got to cool it because I was throwing it in there too hard, and we don't need a flat tire. But, you know, at the end of the day, Monster Energy Toyota, these Maxxis tires, everything pulled through, and my crew and family, and especially Brad Marty, my main mechanic, man, I bust his butt all the time to have this thing perfect, and he makes it perfect for me by race time. So thanks, Brad.
Well, congratulations on your win. And we're heading over to our second place winner right now, Mr. CJ Greaves. I heard you had a little bit of a flat tire out there for you. What was going through your mind when we were looking at that? When you had that, what did you think? How to get back into the game?
You know, we just kept our cool. I mean, I know I got a great crew and great people in the hot pit, so we just went in there with our mindset on, all right, we just need to get this tire change, do it right, so we can get back at the back of the field, and then just put our head down and work forward and try not to give anyone the bump or anything, moving my way back up. And Mike gave me a challenge at the end. I mean, I tried everything I could do, and a couple times he checked up early, and I did dart almost off the track to miss him, so I was doing everything I could to run everybody clean out there. And hats off to my crew, Maxxis, Toyota, Monster, Forest County Potawatomi, Method Race Wheels, Fox Shocks, Dev Dog, Casey, KGB, all my family, my friends, everyone that helps us out. Big thanks to them.
Well, congratulations and good luck tomorrow. Thank you. And for our third place podium finish, Mike Jenkins, congratulations. I see you and CJ with that battle. What was going through your mind that whole time?
You know, I tell you, I was just trying to keep this old man going. That track out there was a challenge today. I mean, it really was physically demanding. We had holes that developed out there that were about half the size of our truck. I was up on 2 wheels at the bottom of the hill a couple different times. CJ said I thought I was going to roll over on top of him. I don't know. But these guys put on a great race in front of me, and I wish I would have been there at the beginning. But I tell you, Johnny had the stamina, he had the ability, and he just drove a good race. And CJ came right in there behind him. And I tell you, this mountain out here, Sturgis, I hope you enjoyed this race. This is some of the best racing we do in short course.
Thank you. What's your plans going into tomorrow?
We're going to try to tighten things up just a little bit and see if we can avoid some of those big holes, keep it smooth, and just have a little bit better lap after lap.
Well, congratulations again. Good luck tomorrow for you.
Thanks a whole lot. I appreciate the sponsors getting us out here, too. You know, we got Traxxas, we got Amsoil, we got the Fox Shocks who are taking good care of us. We got the Cooper tires on our team. You know, everybody's been doing real good. Simpson keeps us alive. In fact, safety keeps us alive, and, you know, it's important to have that gear on you. You never know what you're going to have out here. Fire upside down is a bad spot, I'll tell you.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, ready, Sturgis, for this. We're going to announce our third place podium winner again, Mr. Mike Jenkins. And for our second place podium finisher, Mr. CJ Greaves. And one more round of applause, Sturgis, for our first place winner, Mr. Johnny Greaves.
A little shorter, I didn't see you.
And there's your 3 musketeers. I don't even know which one's D'Artagnan, but I like Mike's attitude. He said, we're just going to go out there and we're going to try and improve, tighten it up a little bit, and get ready for tomorrow. I thought he was really faster than I thought. In that second half, I thought he literally had a chance because Johnny was not pulling away. I didn't see that kind of speed in the first half. Maybe he was biding his time. Maybe the track came to him, but he's going to try and improve tomorrow. CJ is going to try not to get a flat tire.
Well, that was one of those things like we talk about with that competition. You know, it adds a bit of strategy to the event where some teams, they know how a track is going to change, so they want track position, so they set it up for the first half. Some guys, you know what, I'm going to bide my time, going to take it easy first half, and they set up for the second.
Win a trip for 2 to participate in the 2015 AMSOIL America Adventure. It's a 6-day driving competition. It takes teams across country and challenges them to with new clues and prizes each day. There's a typo. Enter to win at AMSOILRacing.com. I hadn't read this one before. Follow all the action of your favorite Cooper Tire drivers on Twitter at Team Cooper Tire. Cooper Tire, an official tire sponsor of the Torque Off-Road Series. Visit CooperTire.com to locate a dealer near you. And Borla Performance has long been the manufacturer of high-quality stainless steel exhausts that smash the competition when it comes to both sound and durability. Stop by the Borla booth in the vendor area to find the perfect note for your vehicle, and be sure to enter for a chance to win a free exhaust. Borla, building excitement. You love racing, but you love rubbing it in your friend's face that you're here and they're not, and even more with unlimited data and Boost and more from Boost Mobile. You'll be able to post all the action shots. Maybe next time your friend will join you instead of going to bingo night. Again, get Ultimate Talk, text, and data for $30 a month when you sign up for Auto Reboost. Visit your local Boost Mobile retailer for details. And TireRack.com, headquartered in South Bend, Indiana, America's largest independent tire tester, and your source for tires, wheels, and performance accessories, whether your driving surface is pavement, gravel, or mud. Their sales team of over 100 test drivers test tires from every major tire manufacturer at the company's state-of-the-art 11.7-acre test facility, and then they use the results and findings at www.TireRack.com to make an educated decision on a tire, wheel, or performance accessory purchase. Place your order and have them delivered to your home, office, or over 8,000 independent recommended installers nationwide at TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install. All right, as the fans get ready to make their way out on the track, they're doing a little bit of track prep. We don't want to send them out there just yet. We'll step aside for a bit. We'll be back with more for Torque in Sturgis right after this.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have AMSO on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an AMSO driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
We have pinpointed which we felt needed further
When you need new brakes, Pep Boys Precision Match is the best brake service to make stopping as smooth as humanly possible. Trust the boys to get you there.
There she is, the bikes, the beauty that is Sturgis. Not some of those dudes, but some of the women on the back of those bikes. I'm just letting you know that right now. Welcome. Yeah, he called me out. He's the one that said it.
No, here I am. I'm like doing a close-up on looking for somebody on the back of a bike, and also I catch myself looking at me.
Hey, if you can see that shirt, then she fell off, right? Isn't that what it said? Isn't that what you saw?
Something like that. We'll go with that shirt.
You saw the Evil Knievel's, a lot of those shirts today. Hey, Borla Performance has long been the manufacturer of high-quality stainless steel exhausts that smash the competition when it comes to both sound and durability. Stop by the Borla booth in the vendor area to find the perfect note for your vehicle, and be sure to enter for a chance to win a free exhaust. Borla, building excitement. And for over 50 years, Kenda Tires produce the highest quality, affordable products for the automotive and specialty markets. Kenda is the tire of choice for the number 27 Pro Light of Sean Morris, and you can visit their product display here at the track to find out why. Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And IDE Industries is the official race canopy sponsor of Torque, the off-road championship presented by AMSOIL. And IDE is an award-winning fabricator of transport trailer canopy systems, corporate hospitality tents, mobile marketing exhibits, and custom shade structures. IDE provides pro hospitality for the pro teams. Visit them online at www.racecanopies.com. And check out all those good-looking uniforms the Torque safety officials are wearing. And you need something like that for your personal safety? Sure you do. Call our good friends at Impact Racing to order your custom-designed driver or crew suit today, or visit them at impactraceproducts.com. I was ready for the massage that you were giving me there, Scott Rain. And you know what? I honestly saw this. One of the first places I saw when we pulled into Crandon was a chiropractor. I'm like, that place has to be banking after all those guys have ridden all that way. And I'm sure, hopefully I can get an armband like you did, and I'm sure these fans that were here today are going back over to the Buffalo Chip. I'm not sure who's headlining tonight, but I'm sure they're going to head over there and then come right back here tomorrow. We want you to come here tomorrow again because we re-rack them, restack them. It's a full day of racing tomorrow. They don't qualify, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But it was a good day one. I'm ready for day two.
Yeah, Jeff Nord, some of the guys are already on the track, prepping it, watering it, ripping it. So expect even better track conditions tomorrow.
So thank you for coming out here to Torque the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL Sturgis. We'll see you at Stop 12 tomorrow.